Uh-oh, go live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Art Chat Daddy Sims, and I'm so glad to be back with you guys on this Tuesday evening. It is Tuesday, July 28th. 2020, and a beautiful day here in the Chicagoland area. Not too overly hot today, just right, a little humid. I think we might get a little precipitation later on this evening, but other than that, it has been a wonderful day. Well, of course, we have all the top news stories of the day, as well as I'll give you guys all the COVID-19 updates of the day for the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. Coming up on tonight's show, we have a Broadway veteran actor. Yes, directly from Broadway. Mr. Adrian Bailey's going to stop by. We're exactly 98 days away from Election Day 2020. And so Mr. Bailey is a part of a group of performers who have come up with this wonderful initiative, Just One Step for Democracy. And this whole program is to encourage people to vote, get people inspired. You'd be surprised how much song and dance plays a huge part in our electoral system. Remember Hamilton and how that was such a huge hit. So these Broadway performers will definitely be doing this to try to encourage us all to get out and vote. And then later on in the show, we'll meet a Mr. Quentin Curtis. He is Lieutenant Quentin Curtis with the Chicago Fire Department. He is the creator behind the, excuse me, was talking too fast, behind the Chicago Fire Brigade. And he'll be here tonight to talk about how young people can get an opportunity to become EMTs and firefighters. All right, so that's a great thing. All right, my co-host for the show this evening is my good friend, always a gentleman who's very opinionated, has great ideas about a lot of different things, but most importantly, it's his birthday. Well, not today, but he's a Leo, so he's celebrating all month long. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Our friend, Mr. Chris Avent. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up? Glad to be back. Man, I'm groovy. It's my birthday month. I celebrate the entire zodiac period.
You do?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's Leo season. So I celebrate the entire Leo season.
I was getting ready to say that's typical Leo. Any Leo man I know, any Leo woman I know, you all are just, I guess that it's that lion in you.
It's our season.
Is that what it is? Is that
it's our season? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so, I invite all the zodiac signs. Celebrate your season. It's your day.
Huh?
But celebrate your season. It's your day, but celebrate your season. You know, the stars are aligned for you. It's your season. So celebrate your season.
You know what I think it is? I think because you all's birthday come the end of July, August, it's so hot.
It makes it easy, doesn't it? It makes it real easy.
That's what it is. I think that's what it is.
If it was January, yeah, it might be a little difficult, but it's the summer, so yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yes. Well, you know, I tell people I'm born in November, and the funniest thing is I remember as a kid, some birthday parties were great weather-wise. Other birthday parties, it was raining, sleeting, snowing.
Never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. So, you know, I think for you all, it's about sunshine, happiness, humidity, and let's get this party started. So what'd you do for your birthday?
Friday night, kicked off. I did a fundraiser. I do my Friday night DJ thing,
right?
And it just happened to the stars aligned, right? Friday was my normal kickoff for the DJ thing. We kicked off the fundraiser. We had an excellent event featuring all the DJs from Whitney Young. Produced. We had 17 different DJs from Whitney Young, and we didn't even have them all. We had them all weekend long. We did a fundraiser. It was very successful. We surpassed our goal. I got my boat in the water, and I believe there was some alcohol consumption.
Oh, I believe it was too. I know you well. I know you well. And was it tequila? Was it rum? You know, I know you love sipping beverages. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Was it tequila? Was it rum? Yes. And this was the first birthday after the legalization of the healing herbs. So I healed myself
Were you in need of healing, my friend? Were you?
I was in need of healing, spiritual and Marvin. What did Marvin call it? Sexual healing. So I got all that. I got all that in this weekend, and I needed it, and I deserved it.
I'm gonna leave that where that is at. I'm just gonna rest that right there, as they would say down. I'm saying I'm gonna rest that right there. Because okay, well, happy birthday to you, my friend. I'm glad you could be here with us tonight. We always have a great time. Tonight is a show about brotherhood. We have nothing but one brother after another joining us tonight, and so I want to get into the hot topics of the day. Unfortunately, the Chicago Police Department is mourning the loss of a top-ranking member of the CPD command staff. Today, Police Deputy Chief Dion Boyd committed suicide over at the Holman Square facility on the west side of Chicago. And we are just really devastated. He recently was just promoted, a well-decorated officer, and just sad in many different ways. And quite a few people on my social media pages knew him and, speak highly of him. And so it's just really, really sad. And it just makes you wonder, I guess we don't ever think about our law enforcement officers or first responders in suicide and depression and things like that.
It's so unfortunate when an officer decides to take his life. When any human being takes their life, you wonder. I know everybody's been posting a lot of suicide prevention. I noticed COVID has kicked off a lot of suicide prevention talks because with the isolation, people are forced to deal with their life, and unfortunately, a lot of people's lives, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So it's always unfortunate when somebody feels the pressure is so bad that it's just not worth continuing.
Well, this will be the 10th police suicide since 2018. And so we are really praying for all of our brothers and sisters at the Chicago Police Department. I know this is very trying times for you all. I know it's probably a very stressful situation in many different ways, but we do want to let you know that we are keeping you guys in our thoughts and prayers. For anyone that feels as if they may need help, we ask that you please reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Again, that's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Their number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255, or that's 273-TALK, 273-TALK. What happened, Chris? You okay? What, did you stand up and you didn't have nothing on, or what? Right. And I'm like, wait, Chris, where is that button? I need that button. See, I don't know how to put that.
I had on the news anchor top only part piece, and I'm like, oh.
Right.
It's embarrassing when you're manscaping and you're using your phone for a mirror, but then you see all these likes and hearts popping up like, oh, I'm live. Oh, yes. Hello. Hello.
Yes, you are. Yeah, right.
At least I got likes, though. At least I got likes.
Oh, okay, well, good. Everything okay? Because that's so funny. Because I said, now, wait a minute. He must have got up because it went to a little emoji thing. And then
actually, my doorbell rang, so I had to answer my door.
It must be more merriment and happiness coming this evening. Okay, I'll leave that where that is. All right.
Yeah.
So let's continue on. All right. So what else is it? Let me give the latest COVID-19 update. Here are the coronavirus in Illinois update as of today. We have 1,076 new COVID-19 cases. This is the lowest in a week of new cases, so that's not bad.
Okay, that's
unfortunately
good.
We have 30 additional deaths over the weekend. I think it was on Sunday. We had only had one death. Yesterday, you still there?
Whoops.
What?
My wireless headphones don't work, so I got this cord. I'm not used to this cord. I'm knocking it all over the
I'm
place.
loving this. Let me get back to doing the news numbers now. Unfortunately, we had 30 additional deaths reported in the last 24 hours. The total breaks a string of 6 consecutive days with record cases over 1,200. This now brings the total state number of cases to 173,731 confirmed cases, and we now have 7,446 deaths in all 102 counties in Illinois. All right. Yes. Are you doing everything that's necessary? Are you sanitizing? Are you wearing your mask? Are you social?
I'm boiling people when they come to my house.
I don't know if I'd necessarily say that now. I know.
That's like, you know what? That's not a coy euphemism. Literally, when they come in, I am boiling them. No, I mean, yeah, I'm doing everything I can. I mean, we all have to go out and make money, and it's hard to make money by yourself. So you have to interact with people. So you take you take all the precautions that you can, and you pray and you ask for a little bit of luck, and
just go with it.
Yeah, and just roll with it.
All right.
Not much else.
You know what's funny? There is a new website that's a fan page for people that are fans of yours. Erica Watson was on last week, and she was talking about this fan page, and you were saying it's hard to make money when you by yourself. Well, if you come up with whatever it is that you're trying to put out there to the world, guess what? They'll actually pay you on your fan page.
Look at that.
Right.
Look at that. They find you interesting enough.
Maybe you want to manscape. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe if you manscape and put it on your fan page, people will pay to manscape.
People have made more money off Stranger Things.
Right. All right. Well, let's continue on. Wisconsin is shutting down their borders. Chicagoans have been going to Wisconsin for the weekend, whether it's Lake Geneva, Wisconsin Dells, whatever the case may be. We all know that Michigan, Indiana, and Wisconsin are our vacation spots in the summer. And so now, as of this coming Friday, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is putting restrictions on people who are traveling to and from those places for purpose of recreation. She wants everybody to be on a 14-day quarantine. The only people who are allowed to travel to and from Wisconsin are those going for work or for medical reasons. Other than that, she wants to put a kibosh on it. Now, how will they monitor and track this? I don't know.
That's what I was going to ask.
They're talking about peeping on people's social media pages, because you and I are going to talk about social media in a minute and how people doing team too much on social media.
What, haven't they always? It's just they have just more time to do more nonsense now.
Right.
And so, I don't know. Desire to be famous. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm glad I'm the age that I am, because if I was a teenager, I would probably be doing it too.
Do you think so? That's what I would.
Come on. We all would. We criticize the teenagers for going out thinking that they're invincible in this COVID era, but we all thought we were invincible. I think it's a little hypocritical for the older generation to talk down, on the youth. But we would have done it too. Okay. Let's just be honest about that.
All right. Well, all I know is as of this coming Friday, there will now be 22 states from which travelers are being told to self-quarantine upon arrival in Chicago due to coronavirus concerns. Wisconsin has been added to that list. Missouri has now been added to that list. North Dakota and Nebraska. So if you guys have been to any of those, North Dakota, right? A lot of military,
big rural area.
A lot of military in North Dakota, though. A lot of military, so that might be it too. And I do know some people that love to go to North Dakota. It's a whole different type of vibe and chilling and partying type of thing. But I know young people that love going to North Dakota. So that's a whole different story. All right. Okay. So today it was announced that the Kodak Film Company is now going into being a pharmaceutical company. They will now be trying to produce, I guess, a vaccination as well as PPE and sanitizer. Their stocks went up over 200% today after the president announced that Kodak would be switching over. And I'm just kind of wondering, I understand that companies have to be multifaceted in order to survive, but I'm thinking Kodak film, you did this for a million years.
Film, camera, yeah.
Right.
And
now
you're
going into the pharmaceutical business. So that lets you know that only major giants and conglomerates like that can do that, because you and I cannot pivot like that. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah, that's amazing that Wall Street is going to respond saying, yeah, we have perfect faith that they can pull this off and they're qualified. That's thoroughly amazing. Mm-hmm. This capitalistic society and what they pull never ceases to amaze, and how they get down, because obviously none of the experts are doubting Kodak's ability to jump into an arena that they've never been in before.
Right.
So maybe the mindset is they have enough money to hire experts to run that division, properly.
Right.
And it won't be their own, R&D department handling it. They'll bring in a whole new group of experts. And I guess they're confident if Kodak is a well-managed company, then they can hire the right personnel to manage it and be successful. I mean, I wish them luck, because we need all the help that we can get. Maybe that's what's driving the stuff. Hey, desperation, you'll go with anybody throwing you something.
Yeah, I get that. I do. All right, very good. Well, let's continue to move on with our daily top news stories. For those of you all that are fans of rapper Megan Thee Stallion, on July 12th, Megan Thee Stallion was actually shot in both of her feet when she was out with some people. It did not damage any tendons or break any bones, but she did have to have surgery to have the bullets removed from her feet. Megan Thee Stallion took to Instagram Live on July 27 to open up about her recent shooting and the online controversy surrounding it, which took place, as I said, over 2 weeks ago. She got emotional at times during the 10-minute broadcast, and she did open up about how the bullets had to be removed from her feet after the shooting, and here's the deal. 50 Cent has been making jokes about it. Quite a few other people have been making jokes. So that's why she went to social media to kind of justify, what happened, that type of thing. And people have made all kind of memes and just been nasty about it all. And it really could have been serious. And here's the sad part. Megan Thee Stallion has been through quite a few things. Her mom died of brain cancer last year. Her grandmother who raised her died. So she pretty much is almost like an orphan now, you know what I'm saying, as far as immediate family and things like that. And so, people that's kind of been commenting and joking about Megan Thee Stallion, she was saying, look, this is serious. I got shot in both of my feet and I had to have surgery to have the bullets removed. So, So we want to do our best. And Chris, you and I were kind of talking about how people take a lot of things on social media out of context.
Oh, yes. Heard the story of a psychologist talking about her patients who had a patient who had a best friend, and she knows all of her best friend's business, right? She knows that she's not wealthy, she's not well off. But her best friend took a picture on a boat, on a yacht. And the friend proceeded to get jealous, even though she knew that wasn't her boat. She doesn't roll like that normally. But the fact that she got the opportunity to take the picture and posted on social media, she was jealous of the fact that her friend was able to take the picture. That's just where we are in society, that people, they used to be jealous of what you had. Now they're jealous of an image that you can portray, not even an image, but they can be jealous that you got one chance to take a photo. And that's what can I call it? That's how petty we are as a society. I'm so petty. I'm jealous that you had an opportunity to take a picture. That's just I don't know. That speaks to how sensitive this society is.
You know what, Chris? I'm glad you brought this up. And the funniest thing is, this is not something you and I have rehearsed or anything. This is just a conversation that we just said at the top of the show we need to address this. As everybody knows, a couple of weeks ago, I had, taken a picture. I had the opportunity to drive a Bentley. And so when I was driving the Bentley, I said to myself, my God, many years ago, after a cancer treatment, I had made a statement that, I one day wanted to own a Bentley. And I said, let me be the owner of the Bentley, God, not the chauffeur of the Bentley. Well, a couple of weeks ago, friends of mine picked me up. They own the Bentley, and they were like, nope, you're going to drive the Bentley. We want you to have the Bentley driving experience. So when I was sitting at the stoplight, I put my hand on the, steering wheel. My watch was right there. I snapped that picture and I said, current situation, God is in the blessing business. Stay faithful. So that post went several different directions. A lot of it was congratulations, you deserve it, you look good behind the wheel, come pick me up, all of that kind of stuff. I got it. But then there was so much backlash in my inbox, in my text messages of people. I had somebody text me and say, yo, I loaned you some money 12 years ago and you never got it back to me. Can you ride out here in the Bentley and give me my money back? I said, what? Then there were people who was, oh, hey, Art, we ain't talked in a long time. I need to catch up with you. How you been?
You've been on my mind. I've been thinking about you.
Right. Then there were people. Oh, here's my other favorite that I was talking to, and just like everybody else, unemployed, don't know where my next dollar's gonna come from, continuously asking God to bless me. I do this show free every night, just all of that, right? So there were people that said, well, wait a minute, we just had a conversation recently about, just struggling and trying to stay alive and surviving, and you don't
holding out.
You done went out and bought a Bentley.
You holding out. You just playing broke. What's wrong with you? Well, hey, psychology says that, they talk about people in the hood, and, when somebody breaks out of the hood and how everybody hates on them, it's like, look, misery loves company, and let's be broke together and happy, but don't you do well, because now you're going to leave us behind, and we don't want to be left behind. I wish I could understand it, but this is what makes psychologists rich, right? Dealing with these issues.
We are the type of people as well, too, that I feel as if we don't help each other, we don't support each other the way that we should. Here's the deal. I was worthy of all these people loving and giving me this adoration behind the wheel of a Bentley. But right. Here I do a free nightly show that uplifts, entertains, brings stimulating dialogue, all of that. And I have a tough time with 5 people even liking or sharing the show per night. You get what I'm saying? Which this to me is unheard of. But yet, because I was behind the wheel of a Bentley, it made me now on that level of elitism, that level of, oh, let's talk to Art now. And I'm thinking to myself, you got to be kidding me that we have allowed social media to dictate people's own personal. And here's the deal. If you call me, we would have an open and honest conversation, much like we do. You know what I'm saying? So
you would gladly say, you didn't front like it was yours. You would gladly say, this isn't mine.
Right.
This isn't mine. But you know what, Art? Some people are mad that you had a friend. Number one, you have a friend that owns a Bentley. We can start with that. Number one, someone that personally owns a Bentley. Most people don't. I don't. Do I? No, I don't. Second of all, that you're a good enough person that friend gave you the keys and said, enjoy the day. When they can't even, people wouldn't even let them babysit their jar full of pens. Right. Right. Let alone give them keys to their Bentley or give them keys to their rusted out Chevy. Right. So, I see hate truly as a reflection of the individual. Everybody sees what they want to see, and they portray how they really feel. And if you were loving me when I was broke, when I get some money, if you hate me, then that means it wasn't real. You're not pulling for me. You're monitoring me to make sure I don't do any better than this career. You're happy that I'm down, and you're my friend to make sure I stay here and
Right.
to make sure I never come up. So I mean, it's a sad reality, but you know, the silver lining, Art, you learned who your friends are. I'm sure you already knew, but anybody that's on the fence,
Right.
you go, oh, yep, okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Because I say all the time, in 2014, I was broke. If you were still talking to me in 2014, it was truly for my personality because I had nothing. I had nothing to offer. And I'm proud to say that my call list looks the same today as it did in 2014, as it did in 2012. My friends are time tested, and they've always been there. So when I bought my boat, you know, I got all kind of inboxes from people on Facebook where I'm like, how are we friends again? Who do we know? And I made the post that said, if you have to ask me for my phone number, you probably don't know me that well. This is just social media. So let's just hang out. And out of all the other stuff that I've posted since 2008 at the inception when I got on Facebook, you saw nothing else interesting about me or my life to hang out. But you see a boat now. Now we need to connect. Same with you. So out of all the stuff that Chat Daddy has done, you didn't want to hang out. But now that he has a Bentley, oh, now let's hang out. It's like, oh, people are so shallow.
The Bentley is a beautiful car. I love it. But Chris, where would I park it? You know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying? That's just not something that you just park in front of anybody's house and be like, oh, it's just the Bentley. You know, you would have to valet everywhere you go. If a headlight goes out on the car, you know that's hundreds of dollars. That headlight.
My Mercedes was thousands. I can imagine what a Benz is. You know?
A Bentley,
and not just that. You know, hey, when you have a Bentley, all that means is you spend a lot of money every month on a car note and fuel.
Right.
That's all that it means on the surface. That's all that it means.
Right.
My boat means a lot of people ask me for rides on the boat, and I posted the receipt one day of a fill up of the tank and all that. I want to come hang out. all that I want to come hang out stopped. I said, this is what it takes to fill this boat. Never got another unsolicited invitation.
Right. Oh, I get it. I get it all the time. So that's how that all works. Well, let me give you guys a little information. A recent study said the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown has caused more people to use social media platforms now more than ever. The impact of social media has caused a lot of panic amongst people. And the reason why it has caused a lot of panic amongst people, either you're being given misinformation or disinformation, and a lot of the actual information that you're being given, by the time it is shared to other people, it has thinned out. So keep in mind, you remember where the teacher would whisper something in your ear and you had to turn and whisper it in somebody else's ear.
Yeah, around the classroom.
By the time they get around to the last person, it's something so stupid that you go, that's not what the woman said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying social media is like now. That people do not fact check, that people do not, imagery is,
and they don't share, right? They come up with their version and add their own piece to it. Just share the original story if you wanted to get around.
Yes. Well, they're now saying that social media is actually starting to become a public health issue because people are so addicted to social media. We're talking about mental health, suicide, all of that people's level of stress and anxiety is so high now because of it that it's just not even, and I'm like, wow, that's quite, because I'm gonna tell you a funny thing. So I get up in the morning. First I make sure I'm awoke. I woke up like, oh, I'm here. Okay. Look at the clock, listen to what's on the news, pick up my phone. The first thing I heard today or read today was that a legendary Chicago celebrity had passed away. So I'm like, oh my God. Then somebody else tagged me on it. Well, the person who I would verify if this celebrity is dead or not was not even up yet. I was not going to bother this person, but then I'm steady getting tagged. People steady tagging me this morning about the death of this person. She's not dead. She is not dead. She's alive and well. Matter of fact, she did an interview today on a major radio show at 12 noon, and it was Facebook Live, but she is not dead. But people will run with this stuff. And I just don't understand, what makes them run like that with false information.
Well, hey, we love drama. What are the most popular shows on TV? Drama. What have they always been? Back in in the 80s, Dallas, and so by all my children, all of the platforms, drama. For some reason, we're addicted to drama. We want that drama. What they talk about in the Matrix, when they made the first version of the Matrix, it was all happy, but the people's brain kept rejecting it. It's like, no, that's too perfect. We need drama. The human mind needs some kind of drama. So we're drawn to it. And again, if everything's happy, if everybody say, hey, we woke up, nobody's sick today, nobody died last night, nobody was shot in Chicago, it's like, we go looking and picking, looking for something to be drama filled. And that's human nature. I don't know if that's how human nature has always been from the inception of time, but that's definitely how it is with social media in the current climate.
You know what's funny? I've never gone after drama, not day-to-day drama. You know what I'm saying?
Do you watch reality shows for the drama?
No, I don't watch any of that kind of stuff. Okay. No, I tell people I'm very conservative. I don't watch I could watch Sanford and Son and I Love Lucy and shows like that and be
just sit back and laugh all day
and be just as content and happy. Sanford and Son, Good Times, any of those shows, because those are shows of people and their struggles, the problems, where would they be now if they were, shows in this, all that reality stuff is, I believe, the reason why a lot of our teenagers are out of control, a lot of why, people are so disrespectful to each other. No, I'm not a huge fan of reality shows like that. No.
Yeah, no, neither am I. And one thing, I had a revelation last year that network news is reality TV. Because think about it. You get your news in the morning, 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. That's just news. This is what happened, period of the story. With CNN, MSNBC, Fox, they tell you the news story, but then they spend all day with a panel giving their opinions of the news, right? It's not just the news story, it's their opinions of the news. And everyone has their favorites, from Don Lemon to Rush Limbaugh. So network news is really reality TV. Right. And you're falling in love with the personality and how this person, and some people love to hate Rush Limbaugh. Some people love, some liberals love to watch Fox and just hate everything they talk about, and some conservatives love to watch NBC and hate it. But it's reality TV, and we're drawn to it, and we're surrounded on all four sides of it all day and all night. And people can't seem to get enough of it. People love to watch Facebook to look for the drama. Who's arguing with who, and But yeah, I'm like you. Give me reruns of something quality. It's the struggle, but you're finding humor in the struggle, so you can find humor in your own life instead of just drama. If you have drama all day long, I don't understand how people want to come home and see more drama. Maybe it's Misery, Love, and Company. Maybe it's, well, at least my life isn't that bad. I don't understand the mentality behind it, but I have enough drama in my real life. I don't need to come and watch manufactured drama.
I agree with you 100%. I do, because I'm one of those people. How can we eliminate the drama that we go through in our life? Like, why, it just,
you can't.
Huh?
You can't. Well, I mean, we're all going to have drama. Trump is a billionaire. He has drama. Billionaires have drama in their lives, right? From a homeless person to a billionaire, you're going to have drama. So why, when you get the opportunity to put your feet up on the couch, you're lucky enough to have a roof over your head and food on your table, why would you want to entertain yourself with manufactured drama? I never got that. But apparently, that's the most popular genre in American entertainment.
And I know people who love, the shows Love and Hip Hop, all the housewife shows, the shows, some of the, like My 600-Pound Life, and I'm thinking to myself, we are making a spectacle of people that are 600 pounds. Like,
sickness.
I know people that, cry like, oh my God, Tink Tink from My 600-Pound Life. And I'm thinking to myself, no, but I just feel they pain. So I'm thinking, is there like a 600-pound person in you too? Or, I don't know.
I think people want to feel better about it. Like, as messed up as my life is, as long as I'm not that, there's somebody worse than me. And we used to say, hey, The saying used to be, "Hey, remember, always could be worse." Reality TV shows you what worse looks like. So I would guess and say people say, "Hey, my life, at least my life isn't that bad," and
Right.
feel better about themselves.
Yes. Okay.
You
All
know.
right. All right. Well, let's continue on. So there's a report that things over at the Ellen show may not be all what they seem. As you guys all know, Ellen based her show off of be kind. Every day after when she ends her show, she always says to people, "Be kind." She does some of the most amazing things ever. I love Ellen. But according to Variety magazine, a memo was sent to those who work on the show last week telling them that the current and former staff would be interviewed about their experience on the set. It comes after an article that was published by BuzzFeed in July alleging that there was toxic work culture with former and current employees telling the publication that they faced racism, fear, and intimidation on the set. And within the article, a Black female employee claimed that she experienced microaggressions while working on the program. Now, it is being said that Ellen is not named in this at all, that Ellen, of course, is the star, and that Ellen is a wonderful person. She treats people well, but it's the senior level producers behind the scenes that are the hot mess folks that are, doing all this situation to them. Chris, we've all been in this situation. I've been in this
Yeah.
situation in, morning television, where, I have text messages right now where one of my white colleagues, text me and said, can you connect me to some Black people? I need to do a story or do stories. Exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
I've also heard people of other races come back to the newsroom and talk about the conditions in which, they would go to a Black home in, let's say, Inglewood, Roseland, somewhere, and then they would come back and exaggerate and explain what the circumstance was like. And oh my God. And they felt as if they were being benevolent because they were out there helping the poor Black people with their problems. And so we face this. Why do you think this is such a huge issue still in this day and age?
I mean, this goes back to the inception of this country. This goes back to when colonization first started. The concept of someone being superior and someone being inferior. The original cultures didn't have that type of hierarchy. It was more of a community thing. And with racism, the ideology that was planted that people of color are ignorant and savages and more like animals, they planted that seed to justify colonization. And they've never really, if you think about it, they've gone through a campaign to make LGBT normal and accepted, but there has never been a nationwide or even a worldwide campaign to discuss how the whole narrative that people of color are less than was a tactic used to justify taking everything that we own. And that has never been erased. And that's why you have the Karens of the world. That's why you have the KKK of the world. That's why you have the neo-Nazis and the bigots of the world that still believe that, Black people are monkeys. And, and everybody somehow in this Western culture, people want to have something to dominate over. So, when you're working on an Ellen DeGeneres show and you have some power, there's a whole group of people, right, that you can dominate over. And when people get the opportunity to dominate, they're usually not very kind, and the ugliness comes out. And even though Ellen wasn't named, it's your show. The show has your name on it. So, it's hard for me to give her a pass of saying, well, I know they didn't mention you, but this is your show, and you should be aware of what goes on in your show, how the employees, especially the minorities on your show, are being treated. So, I can't give her a complete pass on this because you're supposed to be aware of, what the culture is
Right
on your set, right? Your name is on the show. You run this.
I've seen this both ways though. And maybe when our next guest comes on, here's the deal. people are going to treat the celebrity really well. When, you know, I've been there. The celebrity gets treated so well. And as soon as the celebrity exits and goes to do whatever they do is when, you know, people are, you know, just acting crazy, talking foolish. You know, you're not doing enough. You're not producing enough for us. And so that's a lot of times where, you know, the fallout comes. And I've seen this with my own two eyes of, you know, the celebrity, you know, and so I'm sure Ellen is embarrassed. I'm sure Ellen, you know, will address this, but I guarantee you it probably really does happen. And when you're Black working behind the scenes at a lot of these production houses and companies like that, if you're not in a leadership position, you really are treated, you know, like, oh, well, do what you need to do and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I'm not in the business such as yourself. And I've always said, I'm like, you know, if it's that ugly, you know, leave.
Right.
Leave. But people want to hang around at the hope that something big is going to happen. And you notice when people are mistreated at the garbage company, they quit. But somehow in the entertainment business, they just hang around and complain and do tell-all books and say, oh my God, it was so horrible. It's like, yeah, but you decided to stay. Like Hugh Hefner's girlfriends, right, in the grotto.
Right.
Oh, well, Hef was old and made us have sex with him and wouldn't let us have boyfriends. It's like, okay, but he didn't hold you hostage. You could have left, but you wanted to stay in the grotto because you were in the Playboy Mansion. So you can't stay because you want all the perks, but then you're complaining about what, you know, the rules that he put in place. So, you know, if you don't like it, leave, but don't hang around and just say, I should get treated better. You know, I mean, no one should go through that.
Yes.
But it's ironic to me that it only goes on in some type of high profile position. Again, at the garbage company, at the waste treatment facility, you don't hear too many stories about people quit quickly.
And no disrespect about that, but you're the garbage man.
No, right, because there's no status in that, you know. But anywhere there's status, people put up with it and just say, well, I shouldn't be treated like that. And it's like, well, no one should ever be treated like that. But other people in not as high profile positions seem to quit a lot easier than when you're working on the Ellen DeGeneres show or the Steve Harvey show, or, you know,
the big
something with some status behind it. Yeah, the Oprah show.
Okay, very good. Well, our next guest is coming up in just a little bit. We're excited to welcome him on the show this evening. Chris, later on in the show, I want to talk about, have you ever been to the grotto at the Playboy Mansion?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Well, I've been there. That's all I'm going to say. I've been there. That's all you need. That's all you need to know. All right. Well, our next guest this evening, I'm excited to welcome him to the show. We're exactly 98 days away from Election Day. And as you guys all know, not only are we living during a global pandemic, but our world is in total chaos. If you look at Portland and other cities where there are protesters and demonstrators, our government is in an upheaval right now. And, you know, I don't ever trash our president because I do want to respect the role of the president and the presidency, but we all must think about the importance of voting. And so tonight, joining us is a Broadway veteran actor. He's performed in such productions as Sophisticated Ladies, My One and Only, Kiss of the Spider Woman, Jelly's Last Jam. He's done radio, television, newspaper. And if he's not done radio, we're going to put him on radio, because I tell you one thing, he does something that I am now a huge fan of. He does what's called Ask Uncle Adrian, and I may even have a question for him very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome veteran actor, Mr. Adrian Bailey. How are you, sir? Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. It's a little dark.
Good. That's all right. Get you a little light there. It's an honor and a pleasure. Take your time and do what you need to do. We're honored to have you here with us this evening. We're exactly 98 days away from Election Day, and you've come up with this wonderful platform with a lot of other great people entitled Just One Step for Democracy. And before we talk about that, share some of your background with the audience and let them get to know you a little bit better.
Well, I've been a Broadway performer for about 35 years. I've I've done several Broadway shows. I worked with Gregory Hines and Phyllis Hyman and Keith David, George Wolfe, Judith Jamison, many people. And I had a really bad accident in 2008 when I was doing the Little Mermaid. I fell 40 feet through a trap door and I got really injured.
Oh,
wow.
How have you been since that? I just, all those years of performing and doing what you do, and then here you have this horrific, fall. How have you been recuperating, and how's this pandemic been treating you with all of that?
Well, I've had lots of surgeries, through the years. It's like I need more. But one thing that's been taking my time lately is the group that I'm involved with, Just One Step for Democracy, and it's really kept my attention because like you said, we really have to get on this election and make sure people come out to vote. It's the most important election, I think, of anybody's lifetime.
What I think, what I found so inspiring when I read your information is that it was Barack Obama's election as president that put a fire under you to get more politically involved. And as my grandmother would say, brother, it took you that long to get involved?
Well, it wasn't that I wasn't involved at all, but like after, Barack got in, it's like it really did light a fire under me. It really did. I got more interested in politics than I'd ever been before. And I just, I just felt like I needed to do more.
When you say do more, now, how did this concept all come together? Did you all decide, because Hamilton is huge, everyone loves it. It really does speak about our political process. So how did you all come together to bring all of this? Because I know it's singers and poets, and so tell us how it all came together.
Well, Arnisha Walker, a wonderful actress, performer. She's just incredible. She saw my Facebook page because I'm very, on my Facebook page, I do a lot of posting about what's going on in politics these days, and she and I make comments, and she saw that, and she called me and asked me would I be interested in being a part of this group. And of course, I said yes right away. And Stephen Nakami, he's the other co-producer. And what we do, we want to educate the voter, entertain them, but we want to educate them and let them know that, because a lot of people, I remember talking to a lot of people, talk to a lot of drivers and take a lot of cars, that they say the reason they don't vote is they don't know anything about the candidates or what, how to vote, where to vote. And so that information is something that we want to share with them and make sure that they do have the information so they can feel free to go out there and have their voices heard, because it's important. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't think it is.
Mm-hmm. Chris, if you want to jump in at any particular point, feel free to. This is going to be a really tricky political season for the reason that we're in the middle of a global pandemic. We have what I consider an anarchy pretty much going on now. We have so many young people out here, black, white, gay, straight, who are all fighting for Black Lives Matter. And so, these next 98 days are going to be extremely critical. And so what do you think? And look, this is where I'm going to ask Uncle Adrian. Uncle Adrian, what do you think we need to tell these young people? And then let's break it on down to our other folks as well, the, seniors, everybody.
Well, talking to a lot of the young people, it's like you see them right now, and I'm so proud of the people that are out there in the street protesting, the ones that are doing it properly. It's like, and I think that's important, but sometimes I think young people, they like the energy of being out there and rah, 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 and getting out there and making their voices heard. But when it comes down to getting to the polls, they don't show up like they should. So many people say like, well, things like, I don't like either candidate. I think they're both the same. They're both racist, this, that, and the other. It's like, and I tell them, it's like, no one, you have to really look, their policies are never exactly the same. You have to look for what's going to make your life better, what's going to make your family's life better. Like I talked to this driver one time, he said he didn't vote because he didn't think it mattered. And I asked him, did he have children? I said, what about your children? I said, their education. I said, what about the schools in your neighborhood? What about their health care? Is that important to you? I said, so look for the candidate who's going to do that, who's going to support you and going to support your family. And I think that's what young people need to remember, that, you have to make your voice heard. You can't just sit back and be angry or decide that you're not going to be a part of it because something doesn't feel right to you, or you don't like the way somebody looks or the way they're talking. You have to look at the candidate. It's like, because most of them are imperfect. Most of them are really imperfect. They're not going to be give you everything you want. They're not going to be the one that you would have necessarily chosen sometimes. But the thing is, you've got to look at their policies, and you've got to look at what's going to make your life better.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree.
I have a question, Adrian. I love all the points you make, and I'm a big fan of your work.
Thank you.
But the question I had, I mean, Trump got in, he lost the popular vote by almost 3 million votes. And the 5 people on the Electoral College, basically stabbed the Democratic Party in the back. Is there anything, in your opinion, that we can do? And no one knows who they are, right? These are the 5 people that basically put Trump in office, because the people came out and he lost by 3 million votes, but he's still in office because of the system. Yes. What can we do? How can we educate the people to the Electoral College and keep pressure? And forgive me if I'm asking this question wrong. How can we put pressure on the Electoral College to feel more pressure if they decided to jump ship like that again? The same thing they did to Al Gore.
What people need to understand is, like, the Electoral College was like back in the 1800s, like it was a buffer between because they wanted to make things fair. It's like it happened around slavery, to make sure that they were picking the right candidate. They didn't think the voters sometimes might have enough knowledge or be smart enough to pick their own candidate. But now it's like we don't really need the Electoral College anymore, but we still have it. But the only thing that can affect the Electoral College is turnout. It's like the number, if the people show up in great numbers, there's no way they can use that Electoral College.
So you're saying that 3 million deficit isn't enough?
It wasn't enough.
It has to be larger than that, yeah. So that the Electoral College, basically, we have to vote enough so the Electoral College doesn't even matter.
A landslide. I mean, you've really got. I mean, because I know some people, some young people I talk to, and they really, they don't like Biden, especially because of the crimes bill and blah blah. And I say, they say that Trump and Biden are pretty much the same. The 2 old white guys that that have racist tendencies, and they do things. I said, but they're not the same people. They're really not the same people. One is a guy that has grown up with a silver spoon in his mouth, who really doesn't really know anything basically about politics. He's a con man. He's a reality show person. He knows how to brand. He knows how to get headlines, and that's what he does mostly. But the thing is, in terms of like having policies to go forward, when people ask him, "What are you going to do if you get a second term?" He says things like, "I'm going to make the Army bigger and better, and I'm going to make healthcare bigger and better." It's like, that's not a policy. Biden has policies. He's imperfect, mind you, but he has policies. It's like, and you have to think about who's going to be that person. And also, right now we're waiting to find out who he's going to pick for his vice presidential running mate, which is going to mean a lot, I think, to a lot of young people and older people. But the thing is, unlike, somebody like Trump, who has no idea what he's doing, it's like, the White House is so understaffed, all those offices and things, like, people like ambassadors that usually go over to places before he goes over and sets up things. He's gotten rid of them. He's turned the government into like a small business, like his Trump businesses. It's a very small business. There's no board. He's the king and he handles everything. But, we need people, step like, for instance, the pandemic agency that Obama left in the White House for Trump, and told him, let him know that's like, the book is here. It's like there are people here. They're working on these things. There's something coming. They knew something was coming. They didn't know when, but something's coming. He ignored all of that. He ignored everything, and he got rid of all those people. And all this talk about my gut tells me. It's like, we don't need gut. It's like, we got to listen to the scientists a lot of times, especially with this pandemic.
Yeah.
They're trying to dirty up, Fauci and make and try to tell you he's lying to you. Things like, which is ridiculous to me. They say, well, he told you that one time he said don't wear masks. Now he's saying wear masks. It's like, what is it? It's like he said not to wear masks back in April, in February. It's like he's been saying that masks are important to wear. It's even more lately. There's those people, you see all those videos and people saying, I'm an American, it's my right. I don't have to wear a mask, and Fauci, and a lot of scientists are saying, if people would just do the right thing, you have to look at other countries too. Do the right thing for 8 weeks. If everyone wore a mask and social distance and do what they're supposed to do, we could tap this down. It's like, and then at that point, we could be ready to send kids to school.
Yeah.
I mean, it is dangerous right now. It's like these people, it's my right. I don't have to wear a mask. It's like, we have to get this pandemic down enough. It's like, you're going to send your kids to school. The teacher's going to be there. And those people are going to go from that school with no ventilation, because he's talking about not funding them. And they got to prepare the schools. And then those people are going to go to school and they're going to leave and come back to their homes and their neighborhoods. And they're just going to spread it.
Yep.
How important do you think it is for the youth to understand that voting is just the first part? Like when your candidate gets in office, you need to keep the pressure on them to make sure they're acting in your behalf.
Yes, I mean, they work for you. That's what people don't understand. They work for you, and you've got to, also you've got to do the down ballot. You've got to give them help. You can't, vote for the president and then not give them, comptrollers and governors and mayors and things to help them along, and Congress people. It's like they can't, one thing, like I said, Trump is trying to make himself a king. We don't have a king. We have a president. And there, and there's hierarchy, and we have to make sure that we keep pressure on our candidates and our congressmen, our senators, our president, our vice president. We have to tell them what we want, and we have to make sure. When you think about Barack Obama, the first black president, it's like the numbers that people came out in, which is they had never seen before, especially black people. They came out in great numbers, and they support. But what they did, though, they didn't give him support. They didn't do the down ballot. So, all those Republicans are saying, we're going to make him a one-term president. We're going to say no to everything. So then people say, well, he didn't do that much. He didn't get that much done. When you think about it, with no help at all, even with his own party for the most part, he got a lot done.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put in somebody now that I think that is just like I said, a lot of people are going to say, if I had to choose, this would not be the candidate. Biden is the candidate. He's the one that we have. There is no other one. It's like it's going to be between Biden and Trump. And I think most people, if you're being really realistic, we need someone who's going to bring this country forward and also back to some kind of normalcy, because we have gone off the rails. We are a laughing stock around the world. Not even just a laughing stock. We're pitied. I talk to my friends in London and different places, and they just say to me, like, what happened to you guys? They feel sorry for us. I mean, when have you ever thought that, that we as Americans we are not allowed to travel to other countries? They don't want us there. Right. Because we're dangerous. We're usually the ones telling people, it's like, you can't come here, you can't do that. They're telling us, we don't want you diseased Americans here.
It's incredible. It really is. And when you think about it, it really is. Now, here's something, gentlemen, that I've got to throw in there. Adrian, I know, you said there are only really two candidates. Well, there's a young man named Kanye West that thinks he should be president. And we all know, you shaking your head. I feel the same way, because that's nothing but, just causing a division like you would not believe. And here's the deal. I think because he knows Trump was a reality star and a businessman, he feels he has as much gumption to do the same. And I just think, sit down somewhere.
Well, they say he's bipolar. I mean, his wife came out and said that recently. I mean, so he had some mental issues to deal with. He has not filed his paperwork, so he can't really, get on all the ballots around the places. What he can do is take a percentage here and there. Like, they say it's like he can take 2%, which can make the difference sometimes. We don't need him messing up what's going to happen, because it's crazy enough. We need more than we ever have been in our entire life, in our entire existence. We need to win back the White House. We need it, and we need it now. And we need people to understand how important that is. It's like I said, one thing was really important. People have children. They're talking about, you have to send your kids back to school. I mean, when you think about the kids that, and they say, like they want to do remote, virtual learning. They're kids that don't have, the towers, the money to buy computers.
That's right.
So it's like, so we do need them to go back to school. Kids need to go to school because some of them they eat 2 meals there. They eat breakfast and lunch there.
Right.
So they don't have the food at home. So if we want that to happen, we have to do what we need to do. And we also have to get someone who is going to handle this pandemic, because it's not going away anytime soon.
No, it is not. It really is not.
No,
Chris,
it's like
anything in closing you want to say to our guest tonight, brother?
No. Just again, Adrian, I love your work, man. Keep it up. I hope your health improves, and keep educating, brother. We definitely need you out there.
Thank you so much, Christopher.
Brother Adrian, I want to talk about the whole Uncle Adrian series. I thought it was really good how you came up with that. And then tell my audience how they can possibly pose you some questions, because you really are, very versed in this whole democracy thing. And again, this is almost like this is the black version of Hamilton tonight. You know what I'm saying? So how can we get a part of the Uncle Adrian platform?
Well, right now it's like on the website, when you go to on Twitter, Facebook, the different social media, you look for just one step for democracy, and right now I'm not sure if they've set it up. I know they were working on it where people can actually ask questions, put the questions on the website, to address to me. But the idea actually came from Arnisha. She came up with the idea. And I said, because it came from my Facebook page, because I am ranting and raving, and I write. I have experiences where like I said, I take a lot of cars and taxis and stuff like that, and I talk to these drivers. I talk to these people, and I ask them, "Do you vote? Are you registered? Are you a citizen?" And the things that I hear, have just put a fire under me, and I feel like it's just important to educate people. It's like, people, you're going through your life, you got things, you got children, you've got bills, you've got jobs, everything you to deal with. And people sometimes don't get a chance to read or even sit down and watch the news. But what we're trying to do on our website is, we have so much content to educate people that if you go there, you will find a lot of what you need. I mean, and as well as being entertained.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me put the banner back up so that if people are interested, here's how you guys can get involved. It is just one step for democracy.com. Again, just one step for democracy.com. Go there, find out as much information as you possibly can. I'll put it back up on the ticker again in just a little bit. I've had a great time with you, brother. Anytime you want to come back, hang out. Really would love to have you back so we could talk more about your career and how you got started. And I just think people like you are a great source of inspiration for our younger people to know the highs and lows of the entertainment biz, entertainment in itself, because, if you were working right now, Broadway has been affected huge. So what has a lot of your friends, before we let you go, been saying about, how Hollywood being shut down, Broadway being shut down has affected them?
Well, it's like, people are looking for, trying to find other things to do. It's like, some people that, have been lucky enough to work in this business consistently, even the people, when you think about people who didn't work consistently, but say they waited tables, those restaurants in the Times Square area, they're not open. So there's no place for them to go. So they've got to, some people are moving back home. Some people are leaving New York. Some people are looking for another, a second step to go someplace, to find something else to do, because we don't know when Broadway is actually going to come back. Exactly. I know they said January, but it seems, Broadway is really funded mostly by tourists.
Yep.
And, you know, people aren't flying, you know, they're not coming in, they're staying in hotels. So we really need all that to, you know, I think people are really waiting for a vaccine. So, you know, they can feel safe to go back into the theater, you know, to sit and, you know, I think about every time I've ever gone to see a show or been in a show, you know, what one thing is that you are going to hear is,
Oh, no.
you know, and
Yeah.
that's going to
Right.
be something people aren't going to put up with anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, you absolutely
You
right.
got to get out of here.
You're gonna have to perform with a clear shield in front of the
Okay,
stage.
right. You know, even you know, it's like when you're singing, it's like, you know, because I have been guilty of it. I have been downstage, you know, like this edge of the stage singing, and saw people kind of do like this, you know,
Mm-hmm.
why? Because you know, little juicy,
Right.
So, you know,
We
and
had
then
Damone Seraphin on. He's a good friend of mine. He's been a co-host several times of the show. And we were just talking a couple of weeks ago, like, you know, I review a lot of plays. So, of course, they sit me front row, orchestra seats, things like that. And the amount of spit that I see, and I'm thinking, my God, you up on stage with these spitting people. So I can only imagine. It's a people dish.
Yeah, you know, you're singing like, you know, some like love scene or something. You're singing in someone's face, or even speaking. It's not has to be singing, and you know, it's like you'll see that drop of spit that just hits your lip, and you know, you can't react to it.
Right. The whole time I'd be on stage, I'd be like, Lord, please don't let these people get cooties. And that is cooties and cooties. So, yeah, absolutely. Well, Adrian, please promise me that you will come back. I'll reach out to you to make sure we connect. And we'd just love to have you come back and just talk about just being on Broadway and all of the various productions you've been in and all that great stuff.
I would love to
stay well, my friend. All right, let me put up here again the information on Facebook, you guys. Is just One Step for Democracy. Please go to Facebook and log on there. On Twitter, it is just One Step for Democracy. We just love Cindy Kerman. She knows what to do and when to do it. Right. On Instagram, I think she got us covered on every aspect. Cindy, we love and adore you. Please, you guys, just One Step for Democracy. You can go there also. Uncle Adrian.
Vote.
Yes.
Vote.
Yes. 98 days away from the big election. All right, Adrian, we appreciate you so much. God bless, bro. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, we'll see you again soon. Thank you. All right, boy. All right, Chris, we doing the
that was good.
That was excellent. We got a veteran Broadway actor on the show. Don't play my show.
Look at that.
Look,
you're gonna be good at this one day, Art. You're gonna be really good.
Right. Look, it might be from my bedroom on the south side of Chicago, but at least it works. It works. We really appreciate Adrian Bailey being with us tonight. We're going to continue on in our show. So, Chris, you just celebrated your birthday. You did this big, huge fundraiser to help the Chicago Black Fire Brigade. And I thought that was so cool. I actually know the creative people behind the Black Fire Brigade. So what made you choose this organization to be a part of and help them out?
Actually, the brother that runs it, the firehouse that he works at, his captain is somebody that I grew up with.
Oh,
and
really?
I'd heard, I had another friend of mine, who mentioned it to me. And I said, okay, it's the Black Fire Brigade. Okay, what is it? So I talked to my buddy and I asked him about the Black Fire Brigade. He said, yeah, Q works in my firehouse. I've known him for a long time. He does a lot of good work. And that's all I needed to hear. I heard it from someone that I know and I trust. And when he told me that was a good thing, I said, okay, this is who we're going to raise money for. Because, we were doing the All Whitney Young DJ spectacular. And we said, well, we're going to have a lot of eyes on us. So we might as well try to raise some money and find a cause. I wasn't aware of a cause that I really trusted, and this fell in my lap, and it was verified by somebody that I trusted. So and it turns out to be a very good thing. So it worked out. It's a very good organization. So I was glad that I can help send some money their way.
Well, very good. Well, Quentin, or Q as you guys call him, is a gentleman that I've been knowing for many years. He's a great guy. I'm so proud of him. I think now, and you know, when people get them high ranking titles, you have to call them that. You know what I'm saying? Even though
that white shirt changes them.
Yeah. You know, even though
The
he's
white
down
shirt
to
changes
earth,
him.
my boy, you know, he is lieutenant now. He is. And so he's probably out putting out fires, or better yet, talking on television, what he's best at doing. And so filling in for him tonight is a woman who I just love and adore. She is the director of marketing and communications, and the lady who makes everything hum and sing over at the Black Fire Brigade. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, my amazing friend, Miss Terry Winston. Hello, darling.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Chris.
How you?
Hey. It's good to
Hey,
put a face with the name and the voice.
I know. I've been waiting to meet you face to face. I feel like you're my big brother now. And we've been working so hard together these last couple of weeks, and we're so grateful for you. You are such a guardian angel. And Art, you know our love for you, right? You know we love us some Chat Daddy.
Oh, I love you too. I do, Terry. I'm so glad to see you. And here's the funniest thing. When Chris mentioned all of this, he was like, no, I don't know them. And I was like, what? You got to be kidding me. He was like, I hadn't met him face to face. You know what I'm saying? He just wanted to help. And I said, are you kidding me? I said, I've been knowing Quentin forever. I've been knowing Terry forever. And I just think everything that you guys do is probably the best thing ever. And with us having so many young Black people, as they would say, wilding out on our streets, you know, from me going when Quentin first started with the fire department, and then now watching him become a lieutenant and doing
Lieutenant Q.
Yeah, Lieutenant Q, baby. So that's just a blessing to me that he is just so incredible, has done so many things, and him and you wanting to give back to our young people is incredible. Tell us about the Chicago Fire Brigade, Black Fire Brigade, and how it all works.
Okay, so if you listen to the back end stories, you hear so many people talk about the discrimination of African American Black firefighters on the fire department. And one thing that I loved about Q, Lieutenant Q, instead of just being one of those that complained about it, he was scheduled to retire last year after putting in 34 years on the fire department. He was planning on going to live his best life ever. But he said, you know what? I got to do something about this. I'm not going to just exit and be one of those complainers. So what we're going to do is we're going to send some kids to school. So an opportunity presented itself that he bought a social club that used to be owned by Garlic, the Irish firefighters, over on 84th and Kedzie. And we were just supposed to come here, network, socialize with Black firefighters and live their best life. But at the grand opening, he decided that he was going to send 10 students, young men and women, inner city, west side, south side, to EMT school. Well, directly after the grand opening, after he did all of those interviews, the phone started ringing. Not only did we get the 10 students within 30 minutes, we end up getting over 100 kids within 30 days that wanted to show an interest in the fire department, wanted a career path. So I was like, so we're just going to pick 10, right? He said, well, we're going to pay for 10, but we're going to find the money and continue to send them. That's going to be our mission. Forget the social club. We're going to recruit Black men and women, 18 to 40 now, 18 to 40. And we're going to prepare them for the fire department. And the first step of preparing them is to assist them in getting their EMT license. So every time we recruit a young man or woman, they have to, and this is the great part, it's anti-violence and it's workforce development. We're keeping them off the streets. Once they complete the EMT program and get their state license, they automatically have a job. As of today, we've sent over 250 kids to school. I'm so excited about that, and we still have a waiting list of 100. We have helped homeless kids. They came into the program, didn't share with us in advance that they were homeless. They were living in cars or living on someone's couch. resources that we have, we were able to go and find them emergency shelter. Now they're in permanent housing. We have put over 50 young women, single moms, through the program. Now, it was really difficult for them because they didn't have a support system to help them while they were studying for the course as well as passing their national exam. So we had to work on babysitting services. So not only did we, help get their EMT license, we were providing social services. Now, remember, Lieutenant Q is a firefighter. He's fire safety. But to be a blessing, you have to reach back and you have to give. So once those kids completed the EMT program and they're working at all the private ambulances in the city of Chicago, we have two of our students that's actually on the Chicago Fire Department. So it was so cool for Q to walk into the academy and see two students that he had put through the EMT program in the fire academy now becoming firefighters. So we know that this works. We have students that's either mentoring or interning in the suburban fire departments. So it's growing a lot of legs. So then the kids came back to us and they say, well, I want my paramedics license. I want to go to the fire academy while we wait to go to the fire department. Well, we're hoping that the fire department offers the entrance exam in 2021. And our goal is to have over 500 Black men and women 18 to 40 ready to take the firefighter exam in 2021. So that's why we're constantly raising dollars so that we can get them in school. Now, when we put them in school, and tell me to stop whenever you want to, Art, because you know I can talk.
we love it. We need it. Terry, look, we need this information. Yes.
So now watch this. We talk about change. Everyone's getting all of these social services grants that's supposed to help our communities. We are raising $1,000, $1,500 per student. So we're not getting city funding, we're not getting state funding, we're not getting federal funding. We're going around to fire departments, we're going around to people that we know, somebody like Chris, that's been a blessing to our kids. But now these kids, once we change their mindsets, this is the funny part. I got so many little stories I can tell you. They come into the program, their pants are baggy, they wearing a hat and a do-rag, got a little weed on their jacket. And I was like, oh, no, we don't do that. But do you know within 48 hours of signing up for the program, the young men pull up their pants and pull their belts up and they start mimicking the firefighters? Because now they can see the vision. They see these Black firefighters driving these Hummers, driving these Bentleys, driving these Mercedes. And it was like, I can do that. We're getting you ready to do that. So they go through either a 4-month course or they go through an 18-week course. They pass the course, they pass their final exam. Then we push them and they take their national exam. Now with the national exam, they can go work anywhere in the country. So imagine your child is 19 years old and you send him through our program, but his intentions is to go to Howard. His intentions is to go out of the out of Illinois and go to another university. Instead of working at a bookstore, instead of working at McDonald's, your kid could work as an EMT in another state, still collecting their same money, put their own schedules together, and still building up the working hours that when the fire department begins to hire, they have their work experience. Wow. So imagine with the fire department, you get points. And I'm not a firefighter, I'm a civilian. But I had to figure this out if we're going to make this program work. So they get points when it comes to hiring. So not only do we encourage them to go to a private fire academy that we assist them now in paying for. So I'm constantly looking for money. I'm always begging now. But we also send them to paramedic school. If they go to paramedic school, they could test into the fire department without taking the firefighter exam.
Wow.
Our people didn't know this.
Right, because they're cross-training everybody now, right?
They're cross-training, right? There's less fire. Everybody's on mental health issues. Out here smoking crazy weed, drugs, and now they have an emergency. You see all of these fire trucks that pull up at an emergency because the guy fell out. Well, it's more cost-effective to send an ambulance, but you need more paramedics that can administer medication. So we're sending them to paramedic school. We're sending them to the fire academy because once they pass this big test, Oh, they got the rest of it. Their brains have been reprogrammed how to study. So they're going to paramedic school as they're working as an EMT. We had this one young man, right? He went through the course in 9 weeks. He went the month of July, he went the month of August last year. As he was ending the program, he went to a suburban fire department and asked if he could intern there. They said, well, do you have your license? He said, I'm getting my license next week. He finished the course, went and passed the test on the first try. They hired him. His work ethics was so strong, they paid for him to go to the fire academy. While he was at the fire academy, finishing up the last 4 weeks, he registered and was accepted into paramedic school. So a year later, he was an EMT firefighter. He's halfway done with his paramedic course. When he gets ready to go to take the test with the fire department, he gets a point for Chicago high school graduate. He gets a point for being an EMT. He gets a point for having his fire academy. He gets a point for having his paramedic license. He didn't pay for anything. He has no college debt. He's making $100,000 a year within 5 years of getting hired with the fire department, medical, dental. And
wait a minute,
tuition reimbursement.
How old do you have to be to do this again?
18. You have to be 18.
You're
when
too
you take
old.
the
You're
test.
too old, Chad.
You're
You
too
can't
old.
do it. You're too
I'm
old.
a little long in the tooth now, huh?
Right.
So I'm
right.
a little too long in the tooth now. Okay.
Right.
Your teeth are dragging the ground now, all right.
The young man that I was talking about, he's only 22. So imagine knocking in 30 years, 35 years, retiring at 55, making all of that money with no student loan debt.
Oh, yeah.
So you work the system, you understand it. You know, we complain about the police department, we complain about the fire department. We got to go in, infiltrate, and be the change that we want to see for our communities. It's really sad when a fire truck pull up in Inglewood, in Austin, and the firefighters get off. They're not Black.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get our people working in our communities with those good paying jobs? So that's what we're doing here, and we're constantly adding. So when we have angels like Chris, who would be willing to do a fundraiser for his birthday for an organization, he had never met myself or Q. He was just went by the word of mouth with one of the employees at a fire department, and then he's leaked out on faith. You know, we was sneaking in trying to listen to the online party Saturday, even though we were working here at the social club. And then I was like, would it be wrong for us just the Bluetooth of one of the iPhones so that we can listen to this program that's being dedicated to us?
Absolutely.
No, that's okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to invite y'all to come over here to the Brigade and go in the parking lot, and then y'all can do a replay for us over here. And we just, you know, we need to help each other.
Absolutely.
We have to help each other. Chris is paying for a few students to go to school that he will never meet, but he's going to listen to the success story. So what we call that planting in good soil.
Right.
Somebody
that's right.
in a couple of years is going to be making $72,000 to $100,000 because of the blessing that the Whitney Young DJs put together, that they stepped out on faith. And we have to be the change that we want to see in our communities. We have to partner up and we have to do things together to get our kids ready. Oh, let me tell you this. So we have kids coming to us, right? And I call them kids because I'm old enough to be their mom. Driving license jacked up. We as adults need to talk to our young people and check their driving license. They have 5 pages of violations, but now they want to be a firefighter.
Yeah, so but let me say this. Wait, Terry, because they out here driving like damn fools on this express. In these streets, girl, it's scary the way these young people are driving and being so disrespectful in our city. You're right about that.
Well, you know what? When it comes time to get an opportunity that they want, now they have remorse. I have one young lady was driving with open alcohol in the car. She don't even know who left the open alcohol in her car. She started studying before the class and could take the national exam before going to class, but she can't go into the program until we help her get her record expunged. I had a young man last week come to me. I said, bring me your driving abstract. 5 pages of violations.
Mm.
Somebody $2,000 worth of violation. I was like, you better go Uber. You better go cut some grass.
That's
You
right.
can do this. You can try to go around me. But when you want to go take that entrance exam and they pull your abstract like I just did and you haven't taken care of your business, your application is going in the circular garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
They're wilding out. You can't pass a drug test.
Right.
They
Right.
can't find enough young blacks, supposedly, that can pass a drug test. Oh, weed is legal. I can use it. No, you cannot. If
Mm-hmm.
I even smell weed on you, I'm slapping you in the back of your head and I'm not going to get arrested. But
Mm-hmm.
they now come to me and say, you know what? Let me tell you this amazing story. Now, you know, I'm not 18 to 24. When they take their national exams, right? So they get their results back in 24 hours. Do you know they call me at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning when they check their computer and get their results and realize that they are EMT and
Oh
start
yeah.
screaming?
Yes.
No, I'm asleep. Why are you waking me up at 1 o'clock in the morning to tell me that you passed your national exam? You gonna give me some of your money or take me to lunch?
You know,
But
because you
there's
Mama Terry. You Mama Terry. Now I need you to stop
Mhm.
acting like you ain't Mama Terry.
I got my own babies, but
I,
when you get those type of phone calls and it's not a kid calling you talking about I'm in jail, they want you to
Absolutely.
get up in your pajamas and celebrate with them at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm not drinking any Hennessy to help you turn up real quick. But when we see things like that, the hours that we put in to make this work, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. When I'm driving down the street and a private ambulance go past me and it's one of my students and we're waving at each other, it's so worth it. When I go
Mm.
to a private ambulance and I see one of my students in uniform, I'm like, woo, we doing big things. So um, it has been truly a blessing to manifest and work together to bring Q Vision to manifestation. You know, we have a firehouse over on 55th and 54th and Wabash. Over there, we have a fire engine, we have an ambulance, we have classrooms, and we take the ambulance out. We role play, we teach, we volunteers from the fire department come and show them exactly what they're going to see in the streets. So we put blood on them. We have dogs. We just what they're gonna see when they're on the streets of Inglewood, Chatham, North Lawndale, and Austin. And they be like, "This is for real." Yeah. We had one scene that they got called in, and the shooter shot up like 5 people. Nobody looked to make sure that the scene was safe and called the police to back them up. And the shooter came back and shot off all the students. We ain't have no more EMT students. But I bet you they
Mhm.
learned their lesson. When you go
Oh
to a
yeah.
scene, make sure you call the police.
right.
Hmm.
Right.
So it's
Right.
just it's fulfilling, one, to pay the tuition to recruit a young man or woman that don't have $1,000. You talking about going to Howard and Spelman? These kids in our inner city that's working at McDonald's, they don't have $1,000 to enroll in EMT school. So thank you all for this opportunity. Chris, thank you. You know where we are. Anytime you need us, we got you. And Art, no words for you.
I love you, darling. You know I do. Terry, you've always been amazing. I just have always been a huge supporter of everything that you and Q have been doing. I understand that you all have opened up a juke joint now too. And I need to come over and look and be one of the what is it? 50 people can only be in a place now. So
Right. You should see
right,
us out there
right.
taking temperatures. Where your face
Yeah,
mask? Where's my face mask? My face mask right over here
I
somewhere.
got mine too. Well, honey, look,
Look,
I'm gonna have my own
80,
thermometer soon. So
right,
I'm so
84th and
I right.
Kedzie.
Where
Roll
is it?
through.
What is it?
8406 South Kedzie on the corner of 84th and Kedzie. So the name
Okay.
of our new venture is called Q's. So it's a
Okay.
very sexy martini bar, and we have a patio. You know, they closed all the bars now, so we're out on the patio. But it's grown
Yeah.
folks, grown fun, networking, a great time. And every dollar that we raise from the social club and Q's is invested into our students going to school and paying for books. So
Well,
we've
now
been blessed.
how can my audience donate and give to you guys? What would you like for us? How can we do this?
Okay, so we have several sources, but if they can call us or go to our Facebook page, and we will send them over the form so they can have their tax write-offs, and we
What's
will
the
share
phone number?
stories. The telephone number is 312
Uh-huh.
459
Four,
111.
four, five,
459.
nine. Look, I'm typing it in. I'm just like trying to write it down.
Okay,
312-459. What is it?
1111.
Okay. Oh, that's
1111.
easy. Okay, that's
911.
easy.
You see 911?
911, baby. I do. That's amazing. All right, here, let's put it
And
up
we're
on the
right.
screen.
We're all over
If you
social
got
media, Black Fire Brigade.
okay, all right, and it is
Okay.
a tax deductible donation, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, very good. Tell us where Q's spot, the Martini Bar is one more time, Terry.
8406 South Kedzie on the corner of
Not far.
84th and Kedzie,
Okay.
Ashburn, 18th Ward. So, Chris, I
Yes.
hope to meet you face to face. I
Yeah,
love
I have to
this
come down. You guys still doing the comedy on Fridays?
Thursdays.
Thursdays. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I have to
but
come down there.
you might want to come like on a Friday or Saturday night.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. All right. Well,
Bring
I'll,
your
I'll
look,
definitely be in touch.
bring your cigars and come and have a great time.
Oh, well, say no
uh,
more. Say
yeah,
no
don't look.
more.
Don't entice him. Don't entice him. Yeah, look, it's
Right.
his seat.
Hey.
He a
You
Leo, you
look, you
know.
in
Yeah.
good company.
Okay.
Right.
As the
You
kids say,
Yeah.
say less. Say less.
okay?
I'm
Somebody
there.
somebody did have a question saying the students with COVID, will they be taught in person or virtually through this with your program? Oh, how has that been going training them? How will that be done in the future?
Okay, so check this out. They are 911. They are
Oh,
who we call when we have an emergency. So
right.
they have to deal with COVID anyway. So they're trained.
Oh, because they would be essential workers. Yep,
Yes.
yep. I didn't even
So,
think about that.
so
Yep,
fortunate for them, they have Lieutenant Q. He has been through basically every disaster in the last 30 years. He's been to
yep.
Katrina, he's been to New York, he's been to everything. So he understands how to properly train and prepare to go into situations. So the first thing he did when we got hit with COVID, he put together care packages for all of his students, everybody that's been through the program. He had them come over to the brigade. He gave them N95s, not generic ones. And he told them, hey, if it breaks, it get nasty and they won't replace it, you come back home and you get a new one. He gave them hand sanitizer. He gave them gloves. He fitted them for their masks and their shields. He wanted to make sure that each student that's been through the Black Fire Brigade that's out here working in COVID knew how to prevent COVID. He made sure that they didn't wear their clothes home. Work clothes, leave them in a bag. When you get to your porch, get naked. He made sure that everyone had a vitamin regimen, that everyone daily took vitamins. Well, we unfortunately had 5 students that contacted COVID. So as
Wow.
soon as they got tested and they tested positive, they called and said, I tested positive. He's like, okay, it's a mind thing. Chill, relax, do this. So he gave each student a list of herbs and vitamins to take. He made them stay in the house for 14 days and everybody's back on the job. So it's a risk that comes with the job, but
Hmm.
when you're doing your job properly, you don't have any problems. And as long as you got Lieutenant Q behind you, you ain't got
Oh,
nothing
I
to
love
worry
it.
about. He's like our
Oh,
Superman.
yeah, he is. He really is. He
He
really,
really,
I'm just so proud to know him and have known him as long as I have. And you, and just really he's a shining example of a Black man who truly pulled himself up by his bootstraps and really has made a name for himself, and he's been gracious and kind during his entire journey. So
Hey,
yes,
Chris,
tell us.
I want to tell Chris one story. So Q grew up in Cabrini Green.
Okay.
So he was outside playing one day, and he seen a fire truck come, and a Black man got off the fire engine. And when he seen this big burly Black man get off the fire engine at 9 years old, he decided at that point he was going to be a fireman. So from that point, he maneuvered his way into that firehouse where they began mentoring and training him. And 35 years later, we are here.
Excellent.
So they can be what they see. If our kids see Black firemen, if our kids see Black police officers, if our kids see Black sheriffs, these are some great jobs. It's $1 million lottery ticket.
That's right.
And I'm just glad that Q was able to use his network and been a great example on the job that the other first responders want to contribute or be a role model and come and help tutor with him. So we're going to change the game a little bit. So what they say, it takes 5 years to build a business. We 2.5 years in. I can't wait to see year 5.
Wow.
Yeah, neither can I. Excellent.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I was happy to do it for you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, that is. People are giving a lot of great feedback on this. It really, really is. Terry, we appreciate you so much. I'll be over to see you soon with my PPE and all, and my 6 feet stand back T-shirt, all of that. I'll give you a high five and a hug and all of that. But I just love you, my dear. I do. Thank you so much.
Remember, they get tested often, so you're really cool too.
Baby, I've been hunkering down. I told you I'm ordering a thermostat, one of them things to carry in my bag, and I have a mask to match every outfit. So I've been staying under the covers too. I've been good.
Okay, cool. Well, guys,
all right,
I'm gonna let you all go. Thank you for letting me.
Somebody had a question of, do you all need volunteers over there to help out as well too?
Yes, we do. So if you look, if you find us on Facebook or send us a text to the 459-1111 number, send me a text. We have, this is the last thing. COVID has put a halt on it, but we have 3 children events a year. So for the babies that's 3 to 16 years old, we give them 3 events a year. The firefighters come in from the city, around the city of Chicago. We invite kids into the social club and the firehouse. We cook breakfast or lunch for them. We give them Christmas presents. We take pictures with Black firefighters. We put them up on the fire truck. We let them drive. We give them a trolley. We do an obstacle course. We do all kind of great things for our little babies. And they go, wow, I saw a Black fireman. Some of our kids have never saw a Black firefighter. Some of our female young ladies have never seen a Black female firefighter.
I know. Yeah, that's beautiful too. Yep.
Yes. Excellent. So yes, we need volunteers.
Okay.
And
very
we need
good.
Lots of donations. I got 100 kids on the waiting list. I can't emphasize that enough.
And are they only on the waiting list due to lack of funding?
Lack of funding. Well, what happens is every 4 months we place a new group of kids into a program. So right now I'm recruiting and I'm placing them and writing checks for them to go in this class. And then either in 9 weeks or 4 months, I'll be placing the next group of kids.
Okay. But if you had more funding, you wouldn't have 100 people on the waiting list. You'd be able to push them through.
Yeah. And if I had federal and state funding, I could get certified as a training facility and do ongoing classes constantly. So that's the next game changer. Take our training facility and begin hosting day classes and night classes and weekend classes, because this is a job that's recession proof. People get sick every day.
It's a career.
Yes. Yeah. The first step.
It is.
Excellent.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the donation numbers at the bottom of the screen, 312-459-1111. Again, if you'd like to donate, that is the number you can call or text, 312-459-1111. The Chicago Black Fire Brigade a really wonderful group of people. Lieutenant Q is the brainchild behind all of this. Terry Winston is the director of marketing, communications, education. She's every woman. I know you wear so many hats. Right. I know you do. You probably can ready to get up now and go cook some chicken wings too. I know you, babe.
Let me tell you a joke and then I'm leaving. I'm gonna hang up.
That's all right. We love you.
You and Chris scheduled this interview. Then Lieutenant Q got called into a job. Now I'm out there working. You see my curly hair, right? I had to go find a Black Fire Brigade t-shirt. I had to go make myself presentable for you. I wasn't prepared for your interview today.
You look good,
darling.
I'm
never gonna turn.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong at all.
You look good, darling. You look great. We love you. We love
Next
you.
time y'all invite me in, I'm gonna have my hair whipped with some makeup.
That's all right. You look cute.
I'm always going to be here for you, Art.
Oh, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for our girl, Terry Winston. Good night, Terry. We love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Brigade. All right, darling. We love you. We do. Boy, Chris, this has been a great show tonight. Let me do this real quick. Coming up on tomorrow night's show, we're going to have a really great conversation about what can we do to help our young Black youth in America. We've been seeing a lot of stories of our young Black youth wilding out, from 3 young ladies attacking airport workers in Fort Lauderdale. There was a video out this past weekend of a young girl got mad and upset over $4 and she tore up an entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
We saw a group of African-American young boys on divvy bikes carjack an 82-year-old gentleman. So tomorrow night on the show, Chef Takana is back. And as you guys all know, Chef Takana has worked in high schools and worked with our young people as assistant principal or high-level academic positions before she decided to become a chef full-time. So she'll be here tomorrow night hanging out with me. And then Dr. Tony Bond is back, and we're going to talk about the traumatic effect that our society has placed on our young people, why they're so bitter, why they're so angry, all of that. So tomorrow night, make sure you tune in to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show, where we're talking about why our African-American youth so angry and hostile. So I know
some thoughts on that.
I'm sure. Well, look, you're around town on the end tomorrow night, brother, because we trying to have as many conversations as we can to help our people. Again, this is a free show. We want to enlighten as many people as possible and all of that good stuff. All right, brother, anything you want to close out and say tonight before we skedoodle? Look like you had a nice little glass of beverage there.
Basically, did I cut out? Am I here?
Now we hear you.
I really want to give thanks to everyone that all the Whitney Young DJs that played this past weekend. Man, it was incredible. I don't know if you got a chance to tune in, Art, but it was
I did.
some of the best.
I did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the best music, the best DJs in the city. I want to thank everybody for their support, the donations. Everybody that watches this got to hear firsthand what the Black Fire Brigade does. And it was my pleasure to be part of this in any way to help them out, because I learned more about what they do tonight than I knew when I started this. Like I said, I did this on the word of a friend, and I'm really happy that all this came together. So thanks to everybody that supported the event. Thanks to everybody that wished me happy birthday, and thank you, Art, for letting me join you tonight. And hopefully we can take this momentum and do some more good. I'm telling all your listeners, look out for the Whitney Young DJs, because we will be doing some more events. And when we return to normalcy, we will do a live little mini festival. Because we have at least 20 DJs.
Who knew Whitney Young had that kind of DJ talent? See, I went to a school where they were athletes. We didn't have many.
We had athletes. I get
it, but you guys.
Whitney Young was all around.
Yeah. I'm jealous now that I did go to Whitney Young.
Yeah, I guess we're known for the brains. I mean, they're still, I think, one of the top 10 high schools in the country. But yeah, we produced most of the DJs for the city that travel the world, and a lot of top tier athletes, Super Bowl champions, tennis champions, baseball champions, basketball champion. I mean, we well-rounded school. It was a pleasure to go there. I was
Absolutely.
lucky. I was lucky. Everybody else tested because they were smart. I snuck in. I fooled them then. I'm still fooling them now.
I didn't want to call you out on the carpet, but I was trying to figure out. I said, "Now, how they let Chris in there?" No, you are.
I snuck in. I snuck in.
You are. We also want to thank our amazing guest tonight, Mr. Adrian Bailey, veteran Broadway actor. He did a really great job tonight helping us to understand our democracy and the importance of us voting. Don't forget to go visit Just One Step for Democracy. Just One Step for Democracy. We are 98 days away from the 2020 election. You guys, I don't have to tell you what to do. I never encourage you to do. You have to do your due diligence and vote what's right and vote what's fair. But we've got to take control of our situation right now. We're living in the midst of a global pandemic, and we're living in a lot of uncertainty right now. So make sure you are mindful about who you're voting for and what your candidate stands for. Correct?
Excellent. Yes, absolutely.
All right, brother. Well, I think we've come to the end of this show. I'm gonna have to get me look at this. Yeah, believe it or not, Scorpios give Leos a lot of respect. We do.
Thank you, Scorpios.
Well, here's the deal. Leo men, I have no issues with. Leo women, it's a little dicey. It's a little dicey. Leo men,
okay,
I have no problem with. For some reason, I am friends with a lot of Leo men. But when it comes to them Leo women, it's a little dicey. It's a love-hate type of situation.
We're all a handful.
Yeah.
We're all a handful.
Yes. But them Leo men, I can get along with them. So, Debbie, I appreciate you for saying that about me giving that respect to that Leo. Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, Leo, it's time for you to go and roar and drink more of that juice you drinking. And
pasteurized grape juice. That's all.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have some French grape juice when I get off the air in a minute. Yes, excellent. Absolutely. Well, thank you, brother. I look forward to having you back. Happy birthday. Thank you for having that fundraiser for the Black Fire Brigade. I thought that was tremendous, and that's why you ended up here with me tonight. All right.
Excellent. All right. Thank you for having me, Art.
My pleasure. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, go over to YouTube, subscribe to the page, The Real Chat Daddy Show on YouTube, Facebook, The Real Chat Daddy Show. Easy, simple, does not cost you anything. It's free. For more information about me, please go to therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. On behalf of my co-host tonight, my good friend, Mr. Christopher C.A. Vent Sr., I call him Chris, Mr. Leo brother. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. God bless. We really do appreciate you guys. Thank you again to all of our guests tonight. They were just absolutely incredible. And here we go with another great show. We appreciate you guys, and we're out and one. Here we go. Let's end the broadcast.